what in the hell did I just watch? Yo, what's going down, Greenskin Entertainment fans? The commander-in-chief of this channel right here is back with another theatrical review, and right now it's for Infinity Pool. Now, this movie stars Alexander Skarsgård, Mia Goth, and it was written and directed by Brandon Cronenberg. For all of y'all out there who have no idea what this movie is all about, I can tell you without spoilers that we're following a writer, James Foster, and his wife while they're on vacation at a super dangerous fictional island. And in hoping to find inspiration for his next book idea, they start hanging out with this really weird and mysterious couple that frequents this resort pretty often. And pretty much from that point, some sick, twisted, and mind-boggling shenanigans will ensue. You see, this is the type of film that shows and doesn't tell, and even what it shows still isn't so obvious either. Now I ain't gonna front. Throughout this entire picture, I found myself struggling to keep up and understand what certain imagery was implying in regards to the direction of the plot or certain characters' motivations. And what some of the choices that certain characters were making actually were saying about human tendencies, wants, desires, and our need to fulfill them. In this film, there is a lot underneath the surface, I can promise you that. And while I'm sure that I was lost on most of those key elements to the true core of this film, it was Mia Goth, Alexander Skarsgård, the writing and directing from Brandon Cronenberg that kept me on board until the end. Alexander Skarsgård's character in this film is a man fronting as if he's got it all together in one way or another, and all he needs to do is just figure out his next book idea. But what I like that this movie did, even though, like I said, I was lost on some things, was it still gives us straight up scenes and conversations showcasing how insecure he actually is with his talent, his abilities, and even his ability to contribute into his own marriage. So as the movie goes on and you see him start to make these outlandish choices, I felt like I still could understand for the most part how this man could have been persuaded to make some of these moves. Mia Goth in this movie plays mysterious, caring, seductive, and of course, batshit crazy at times. Between her, her man, and the crew that they roll with, it was challenging for me throughout the movie to kind of wrap my mind around the meaning behind what that crew was really all about. And even if certain things were real or metaphorical at times. Now, most times, certain things like that might take my simple mind out of the movie real quick, but it was because of the quality of acting from Mia Goth, Alexander Skarsgård that really kept me interested and kind of on the edge of my seat, I ain't gonna front, until the end. Now let's talk a little bit about directing. Brandon Cronenberg makes some huge, I don't mean huge, I mean like huge, like not big and huge, I mean like gigantically huge creative choices in this film. Some of them I think play really well, and some of them I think push the limits of gratuitous. But if I'm being 100% honest, right before it gets to that level when you're like, God damn, man, I don't know if I can take this anymore, he kind of reels it back in, maybe shows you something that you kind of understand and kind of lands, and then the story continues to move on. Now, this film is definitely not for everyone, but if you are the type that is into a lot of A24 type thrillers, body and cerebral horror type movies, mixed in with a more real life, more sick, more twisted version of I Know What You Did Last Summer and The Hangover, then this one might be for you. Now, if you're the type out there that needs an easy follow film, or the type of person that gets a little squeamish with all those things that I listed just a moment ago, then I got two suggestions for you. One, stay your ass at home this weekend, or two, swoop some tickets to the 25th anniversary of Titanic, keep it in the top 5, and James Cameron's pockets fat. Now, I am aware that in this review, I didn't really go too deep into the actual plot and actions of the characters, more so just what they were like maybe, and some of the things that were interesting about them throughout the movie. I wanted to keep it vague because, again, this movie might not be for you, it's not going to be for a lot of people, but if it is something that may sound interesting to you, I didn't want to spoil anything because some of the things that jump off in this film, while outlandish and gratuitous at times, are really fucking interesting. And I want y'all to go in as fresh as possible if you decide to make a trip to the theater for this one. Have you heard of it? Do you have your tickets? Or is this one already a pass based on what I just told you? And if it is a pass, then let me know, what was the most weirdest, twisted film that you've ever seen in your entire life that made you say, nope, never again? Let me know in the comments below. Let's chop it up. Other than that, your homie, Jay Green, I'm out.